Welcome back to the final segment of Investing with Confidence on this beautiful 4th of July weekend. Yeah, if you happen to miss 2 tickets for the investing class, call 952-814-4410. You can also text the word INVEST to the number 484848, and we'll send you a text back to register for that class. And if you're just tuning in, I was shedding some light on retirement techniques and strategies. What are some of the disconnects of what you're being put into and why most people can't retire with confidence? And I want to kind of circle back to that on this segment here. I want to change that perspective. How do people potentially retire with more confidence, but get there and potentially have enough money because the people who don't have enough? What are the different techniques and concepts we can apply as average investors so we're not stuck to Wall Street?
Yeah, well, the primary reason or the way that you develop confidence is with knowledge. And it's a combination of knowledge and then the skills to properly use that knowledge. And it's like anything else that you get involved in. If you don't know anything about it, I mean, if somebody handed you a scalpel and said, "Here, perform open heart surgery on this guy," and you've never done it before, the outcome is not going to be very good.
You know what that would look like?
A mess.
Edward Scissorhands doing something.
Yeah. Yeah, that would not be a good outcome for either one of you. Same thing with flying a plane. If you've never flown a plane before and somebody put you in the cockpit of a 757 and told you to fly to Seattle, you might get off the ground. The problem is how are you going to come in contact with the ground when you come back?
You're right.
It's that lack of knowledge. So understanding, again, how you can benefit from the markets. Are there opportunities there? What are the opportunities? What are the ways that you can take advantage of them? And what do you need? We always talk about the importance of a plan. And a plan really should start with the end point. Where do you want to be in X number of years? What do you want your life to look like? The only way you have a real good opportunity of getting to that point is by starting out where you are now, knowing where that endpoint is, and then identifying the right things to use to get there. And there are a number of opportunities. The good news now is the knowledge, the source of knowledge, the place to go to get it, places are available. They didn't used to be. People are not getting that education in school. You're still not getting it there. The Online Trading Academy has been doing this for 24 years, centers around the world, and they're bricks and mortar spots. You can go into a actual building and deal with people. It's not something that you're doing online.
Well, there's a lot of people listening right now that are stock investors, right?
Sure.
They want to continue to be stock investors. And what are some of those tools that they can use? You mentioned the right things. What are some of those tools people can use in any account, really?
Well, yeah, anything. Again, I mentioned in that first segment, if you buy something, you want the price to go up. If you sell something, you want price to go down. If you can identify where you have the greatest potential for that happening, that gives you a leg up on things. You identify that by identifying where the people that actually have the clout to move the price of something, where they're going to be buying, where their unfilled orders are that are going to become filled. That sounds kind of crystal ballish. It sounds like timing. It is timing. It's not a crystal ball. It's just we're using the information that the players, by the players, I mean the big Wall Street firms, the hedge funds, people like Warren Buffett, they cannot invest without moving the market because they do it in such large amounts. But
we're sorry to interrupt, but really anticipating where prices could turn and where they will go. And think of it this way. I love football, and football season is going to be coming up. They're doing some spring training coming up, and they are getting ready for the season. And you need to anticipate where a quarterback might be throwing the ball. Anticipate where that running back might be going for that tackle. So you don't know exactly, but if you have the skills and the proper tools to anticipate that, your odds of getting that running back or that quarterback intercepting the ball is much higher.
Basically, you are looking at where that running back is going to be, not where they are.
Yep.
You're going to throw the ball. Same thing in hockey. You don't skate to where the puck is now. You skate to where it's going to be. And that's the same thing that we do in investing. We look at where the price is going to change. That's where you have your trade set. And the good news is that, again, that the education, the source of education is there. If you are just starting out, maybe the knowledge that you need and the assets and strategies that you need are different than somebody who maybe has been investing for a long time or who is in retirement. And the great thing about what OTA does is that they take that into consideration. Every education path is customized to the individual. It can't be a cookie cutter way of doing this. There isn't one strategy, one plan that works for everyone. It should be specific to you. But when you go into retirement, there's three things that really become important. One is knowing how to protect your savings, and by the way, that should be the thing that you do no matter whether you're in retirement or you're just starting out. Protection is always key. But then you have to know how to grow those retirement accounts. If you retire with X number of dollars and all you do is take money out of that X number of dollars pile every time you need to spend money, pretty soon that pile disappears. We show our students how to grow that pile, but even more importantly, once you retire and your income is gone, what you were using to pay bills and for most of your living expenses is gone. Why not just use your retirement accounts as a generating system, a way of kind of replicating what you had before without drawing those accounts down? That may sound a little confusing, but we go into it in these classes. It is a way for you to have a much greater opportunity or possibility of making it through retirement confident and financially secure.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people feel like they're missing out on the markets, Al. The markets are at all-time highs. We kicked the show off, all-time highs again with the S&Ps, and they're missing out on some of these opportunities, maybe just because they just don't understand. They don't understand the proper tools to use. If you feel like you are missing out, or if you feel like you need an edge or gain more odds in your investing, Al teaches these investing classes for, really if you're brand new to the markets as well. If you're new, not sure what you should be doing, what you should start out with, or say you just have 401ks and you want to potentially enhance those, come to one of these free classes. They're only 2 hours. We do them during the week, also on the weekend. So callers 1 through 10, I want to invite you to this investing class. You're going to receive 2 tickets. You're also going to receive the retirement planner that will help you get started right away. Call 952-814-4410. That's 952-814-4410. So we talked a lot about plans, rules within that plans, but gaining the odds. I think that is the number one, and you kick the show off as well. That's the first pillar in trading and investing, is gaining the odds or stacking those odds in your favor, just like a casino would. You want to stack those odds. So those tools that we've been talking about for our stock investors, you place your investments on a trading platform, right? And a lot of people think that you have to be at your computer for that to execute. Explain real quickly, I know we're getting close to the end of the show. We got about a minute here. Explain real quickly how that actually works when you place a trade so our listeners understand, you have the ability to do this as long as you can click a mouse.
Yeah. Yeah, and the important thing is that you don't sit in front of a computer. If you sit in front of a computer and you watch the movement of a stock, you're going to blow up your accounts. You're going to get out too soon. You're going to get in too late. Any number of things that will be harmful to the outcome for you. So what you want to do is set a trade, preset a trade, but set it based on a high probability that where you have the price set, it's going to trigger there. It's going to be a low risk entry point with a high odds of it succeeding, and also with a high profit potential, because every time you make a trade, there's a risk and a reward. You want to make sure that the reward is great enough for the risk. And by the way, don't let that word scare you. It's something that we show you how to control. Just like you control risk when you cross the street. You don't just blindly walk out in the street and hope you don't get hit by a car, bus, motorcycle, bicycle, or whatever.
Alligator.
or an alligator. That happens so often these days.
Yeah.
But you control that. And the same thing is true in the markets. You have to be able to control that to be able to take advantage of the assets and the strategies that give you the potential for good returns.
Yeah, you're right. Now, we have a lot of listeners that do have 401ks, IRAs, TSPs, just a retirement account in general, and they want to know more about them. What are some of the techniques and strategies that they might be able to apply? We do have a lot of listeners that are brand new to the markets, maybe just jumped into the markets this past year. There's a lot of talk in the stock market. Great markets, all-time highs. Now is the time to learn the tools and techniques to utilize them because they're moving great. We also have a lot of investors that have been investing for many years, trading for many years, but maybe just want to sharpen their skills a little bit, get a little bit better, gain more of an edge. If you're one of those people, come to one of these investing classes that we do right here in Bloomington. They're free. Al actually teaches these and covers many different topics: how to manage risk and navigate these volatile markets, how to time the market by letting price come to you. But I think the number one that our sponsor, Online Trading Academy, has, that number one thing is our step-by-step rules-based strategy for trading any asset in any market. When we talk about assets, that's stocks, that's options, that's futures, and Forex. So one last set of tickets for the investing class right here in Bloomington. It's free. It's only 2 hours. Call 952-814-4410. When you call in right now, make sure to mention the Financial Quick Start Kit. That will help you get started right away. Call 952-814-4410. We have a holiday week, Al, and a lot of fireworks going off in the stock market. A lot of fireworks here this weekend. Let's hear some firework words of wisdom.
All right. Well, what we hear way too often, Josh, is people saying, you know what, I'm busy. I just don't have the time to do anything right now. I'm going to kind of plead with you to not let that happen, because there never is a perfect time. But listen to this. Every day that goes by and every dollar you don't make could end up costing thousands or tens of $1,000s per dollar due to the lost power of compounding. We see every day people that say, I wish I had done this earlier. They've waited until the problem was there and then felt it was too late. You can't know when the next correction or bear market will start. There are numerous bubbles out there, and we don't know who's holding the pins, but you can take advantage of the possible continuation of an up market and at the same time be prepared for a down market, knowing that the proper action and proper strategies are there for you to use regardless of which direction the market's going. Right now might be your best time.
Dictate your own future. Don't let somebody else decide that for you. 952-814-4410 for 2 tickets. Same time, same place next week. Until then, retire young, my friends.